Dumelang, and welcome to another edition of Trendz Live. Plus, skip payday weekend, so it's going to be a fantastic Friday. You can sign Koza, but you already know you can call me Candy. We have an epic show in store for you as per usual, and Oskido is going to be joining us this evening. I mean, this man has managed to cement himself as a legend in our industry. And tonight we find out what is that driving force that makes him continue to create more. Now, a week can surely fly by, so let's bring you up to speed with some international and local entertainment news that you may have missed, so take a look.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail for the third time. U.S. District Judge Arun Subramanian opted to keep Combs in the Brooklyn jail where he has been for over 2 months, awaiting his 2025 sex trafficking trial. Multiple judges cited a risk that he might tamper with witnesses, and to these charges he maintains his innocence. His children and mother were present at the 2-hour-long hearing recently. British singer-songwriter Robbie Williams' life story is now captured in a semi-autobiographical CGI film that tells his story from childhood struggles to international fame. In the story, he is interestingly portrayed by a monkey. This week at the London premiere, he shared his hopes on how the film should be received.
I think you see more of Robbie in the monkey. I think you have more empathy for the monkey, and I think creatively it makes it really compelling. You know, it's just for someone who sees themselves as a performing monkey, it made a lot of sense.
I never stop opening up about my past. It's how I socialise. You tell me about your childhood trauma, I tell you about my childhood trauma, and we get along. You know, it's part of the course for me. Look, as namaste as this sounds, music heals, entertainment heals, and I hope that in some way this film is a healing process for people. I know it's a lofty ambition, and some people at home could be going, yeah, okay, of course, but I mean it, you know, I mean it.
Better Man begins its global cinematic rollout on December 25th. Grammy Award-winning Nigerian singer-songwriter Trendz is coming to Johannesburg. Her melodious voice and moving lyrics that have captured a global audience will be experienced live in March 2025. Her blend of Afrobeats, R&B, and neo-soul has earned her various accolades, including a Grammy Award and collaborations with global icons like Drake and Beyonce. That's all for this week. Stay trendy.
We are celebrating the vibrant pulse of the 90s by taking it back with Mzansi's legendary South African DJ, music producer, and entrepreneur. I mean, is there anything Oskido cannot do? He's widely known for the massive impact he has had on South Africa's music throughout his over 2 decades of creative explorations. He's created a celebration that is said to pay homage to Mzansi's rich cultural heritage in SA. And we have him with us tonight to find out more. Oskido, welcome to Trendz Live.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. It's like a pinch me moment. Having legends in studio is something that we absolutely love here at Trendz Live. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. But I have to say, congratulations. Let's talk about it. Like, what made you actually want to create this nostalgic celebration? Tell us more about the big day out.
Yes, Oskido's big day out. It's happening tomorrow, Saturday, at Linksfield in Johannesburg from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. So we're celebrating, the history of dance music since 1994.
Sure.
So therefore it's that celebration, and I think, with the youth of that time in 1994, I'm one of the pioneers of Kwaito.
That you are.
So, so it's that celebration. You know, we normally don't celebrate our success. So it's been 30 years, and from Kwaito we've seen house, and right now there's the first Ponyo Kwaito, which is a piano. So let's celebrate that.
I love that we're celebrating that, but
Yes.
how are you actually going to showcase 30 years of like Mzansi's music history? Because that's a big number of years.
Yeah, well, so what happened is that I said that I want to first put the iconic people who played a major role, especially in creating, Kwaito. Guys like like Arthur, Mafiki Zolo, Tebe, Abo Zola. You remember Zola with Hizo?
And Zola 7, that show on SABC 1.
So it's more like that. And also the DJs who played a major role, guys like Abo Christos, Vinita Vince, Abo Glenn Lewis. So we want to start ailing
Namakhutman, as they call you guys.
Yeah, and also we've added just a few guys who also been really doing amazing thing. A guy like Pori is also going to come through, and also Mahush is coming through.
Hey.
Just, for the young ones to come in.
If people haven't gotten their tickets, they've got 24 hours to make sure they get those tickets
man.
for tomorrow.
Go to web ticket. Tickets are available.
I love that. But you are, like you even mentioned earlier, one of the pioneers of Kwaito. But what is your take on how music has evolved from then to now?
Well, it's exciting. The technology has actually made it easier, for people to make music, and also the way people consume music. Now it's more on streaming, because long back, remember, we come from an era where we used to do music, and then from there we take it to a record store. It's either a cassette or CD. There were physical sales.
Sure.
And it was good upside for the artist, right?
And you guys, you used to sell stuff from the back of your boots.
Yeah. That's how we started Kalawa Jasmine. I used to sell the car from the stuff from the boot of my car. But, it's got its own advantage. We used to see a lot of profits being made for artists. But these days, streaming, it doesn't have a lot. But the advantage is that once you drop a song, the whole world just had...
Because it's going to trend. There's so many other platforms.
It's going to be all over the world. Long back, so a distributor, then you find out it's only in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
It's people around that area. But these days, the world has become one village.
And we love the fact that the world is one village. And that bring me to the next question about looking at how, music from South Africa has just kind of done this big interjection into the global market. Like, as somebody who's been in the industry for so long, what does that feel like?
It feels good. For example, I've been doing a couple of gigs, a lot with Scorpion Kings, where in America, New York, we sold out, a place out there in Central Park in New York. We're in the UK. Also, it was a sold-out performance. Next year, we're out in Portugal. So, they love the culture. That's why, but I give it to, technology. TikTok has played a major role for people to understand our dance moves. As you know, that we're a nation which likes to create in terms of dance movement. Yeah. So therefore, it is really, the world is looking at us and say, wow, I want to do this.
I want to be a part of this movement.
Definitely.
Do you ever think that Kwaito would ever penetrate on such a global level, maybe through fusions with Amapiano and maybe hip-hop?
Yeah, we've always thought it will do it. But remember, when we started Kwaito, the tech wasn't there, right? It was only limited to a certain area. And right now, but because of what's happening, it's easy for anyone to consume what we are, what we are trying to offer. And hence we've seen the growth of Mapiano. It's competing with a lot of other sounds. But also you've seen international artists jumping into these challenges. Chris Brown, Bob, Beyonce, everyone, because it's something new. When they see our movement, it's like, hey, how do I do it? Do you understand? And even when we go to these gigs overseas, you see all these kids, coming in and embracing it and say, wow, this is ours. So we must thank the technology.
But we must also thank you guys, because had you not laid the foundation, a lot of artists wouldn't be here. And when I think about you, you've had a hand in many artists, careers. But what would you say is your highlight in how you've paved the road for others?
Yeah, obviously we also took it from, somewhere because we're inspired, we're inspired by Abu Prachiko, Brenda Fassi, that era, especially me. I mean, the bubblegum era inspired me, Abu Miriam Makeba. So it's always been homegrown. But right now, when we started Kwaito, we're also inspired. Then we started but you see, we made it as a big business because we started understanding how, we can own ownership. And from there, we've really inspired a lot of people. And it's not only
the
me.
Game, the levels of the game.
Yeah, it's not only me. So we've gone, all of us as a nation, to come in and share and pass it on to the younger generations who are also taking it to another level. So for me, it's like a relay. You get it here, you pass it on,
Kupuga basically is what we
do. When you go up, you must pull the other person up.
That is so cool. But that is something that I'm just thinking about of what you just said right now. And I think for me, it's just kind of what's next for Oskido? Because you've done so many things, Oskido's big day out. Is there something that's going next for you?
Well, for me, life, I always say, life, we mustn't complicate it. We mustn't overthink things. As long as you really... I always tell people that humility is the biggest currency which you can have. Without humility, no matter how you are, you can be talented, you can be whatever, but things are not going to happen, because whatever you put in the world, the universe gives you back.
But that's why you're still as successful as you are right now. But I've got 2 more questions before we wrap it up. If you were just to paint a picture for the youth of today of how Kwaito influenced you guys back then and then impacted that youth back then to how the Yanos is kind of doing it now, what would that picture look like?
If I paint a picture
for if you were to talk somebody right now to say, this is how Kwaito impacted us in our youth, similar to what Amapiano is doing for you guys, what would that picture look like?
Yeah, for me, I think it's a lot of things which are happening. That's why I think, as for me, I only know dance music. That's why you can see I relate to piano and Kwaito. Because for me, I feel that my piano is still the same thing with Kwaito.
Yeah.
It's consumed by the younger generation. So I play in both things.
And you do, and you also even do things on TikTok. But I have to wrap things up. I'm so sorry.
You've answered your question.
I love
and then that you must have ability to change. So therefore,
evolve.
the picture which I'm painting is for us to go through. Learning, from the young people and also the young generation learning from us. Because in life, you must always be teachable. Because a lot of times we make mistakes as human beings.
But
if I say that I'm legendary, I'm Oskido, then I don't learn. I learn a lot from all the people who have inspired. I learn a lot from Mzansi. I learn a lot from Black Coffee, from Upori,
I'm going to have
Kabza.
to stop you right there. We've learned a lot from you. And we're super excited about Big Day Out. Thank you so much for taking time and joining us on
Saturday. We are on. Get your tickets now.
So please make sure you get your tickets. We are on for tomorrow. Make sure you check him out on social media to get all the details. But for right now, though, we're going to take a quick ad break. And when we come back, there's still more Trendz live action taking place. So, skasuta. At Trendz on SABC is where you can find us. So please do the right thing and interact with us on X. Before the break, we sat down with the iconic Oskido. If you missed it, Babashe, but don't despair. Award-winning artist Priddy Ugly is also in the building, and he'll be taking to the stage a little later on. For now, though, storyteller, writer, actor, producer, and comedian Philip Dikotla is a well-versed entertainer who's set on delivering something special to audiences before Christmas. He will be live this December in Cape Town as well as Johannesburg with his comedic stylings, award-winning film and theatre performances solidifying him as an entertainer. Our producer Refula Matila caught up with him in the north of Johannesburg.
So here we are in Hyde Park, Johannesburg, seated with the man of the moment. I have an opportunity to catch up with him ahead of his one-man show, Philip Dikotla. We get to know a little bit more about him and, of course, what he has coming up for us. I can't wait for the laughs.
I only came to Joburg because there was opportunities calling me to the city, Before then, I had just performed. I started off as a comedian. The only thing I was doing was comedy back at home from high school, winning competitions and stuff like that. And then I found myself being told that, hey, Muna, you are funny, but you are also an actor. We can see an actor in you, you know.
You say that you were doing comedy in high school. That gives me the idea that you were the class clown sitting in the back, cracking jokes. Is this true?
You're gonna get me in trouble because I have cases that I haven't finished in high school, you know. There was a times I was supposed to be expelled, but I was not expelled, you know. So I have matala which are pending at the moment, you know. But yeah, wink wink. Confirmed, yes. I won't lie. I did a few naughty things, and I was the guy. I found home with humor and laughter. I found joy in making my friends laugh, and my friends really believed that I was going to be a very big comedian, you know.
His comedy has evolved from sketches to more purposeful banter.
As I grew, I found a much more significant purpose with comedy, you know, because what theater taught me was to tell stories. And what became of me, even when I started focusing more on pursuing my comedy career, I learned the importance and the significance of telling stories. I found relief. I mostly tell my stories of where I grew up, story of my life as it goes, experiences that I'm encountering and sharing my perspective on them, and which for some reason is something that makes my comedy very different. But what separates me from those people is just know that I'm not funny. I'm not just funny in a casual setting, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm funny with a purpose. Mm-hmm. I'm funny with a story. I'm funny in discussing things that matter in our lives, things that can transform and excite us and give us some kind of like, hey, a spice of life, you know? Yes, I'm the Robertsons.
Comedy has the ability to push the envelope. Has comedy lost its punch due to political correctness?
My theory about comedy is that comedy is a conversation, you know? And me and you, if we are able to have a conversation, I know there's conversations that I won't have with you. I would have with a friend of mine, Sydney. There's conversations. It's about knowing the person that you are talking to, and that's the only thing that makes it. If you have the wrong conversation with the wrong person, you will have problems. What I would always say to comics is that don't say something that you can't live with, just for the sake of making people laugh. Don't do that. Just, you know what you're good at. Become even better at doing that thing. Grow. I don't know, some people will tell you about pushing the bar, pushing the envelope. I don't know who's receiving the envelope. I don't know where. I have no idea what's happening on the other side. Me, I'll just tell you, do what you're good at. The people are open to that.
A hearty chuckle is always welcome and a necessary stress reliever. In Philip, we find a comedian whose style is accommodating and polished.
What an effortlessly funny man. Now, the Cheetah Outreach Facility is a conservation-based organization dedicated to raising awareness and protecting the majestic cheetahs. Visitors get a unique chance to connect with cheetahs and other animals while learning about conservation, but in a fun, interactive way. Here's how we experienced it.
The Cheetah Outreach program combines education and conservation, offering visitors a range of experiences that are as enriching as they are exciting.
So this is Tanashi. Tanashi is 7, he turns 8 next month in November. He is a fully grown adult male cheetah, and he was born in captivity and hand-raised from birth. Unfortunately, the mother had birthing complications, so she had to have an emergency cesarean. So he's been with people his whole life. Not many people know that the cheetahs are vulnerable. There are very few of them left in the world. We're looking at 6,500. South Africa has about 1,300 of those. Approximately 800 in our protected areas, which are the game parks and nature reserves, and then another 500 free roaming along our northern borders. For them, there's a plethora of issues, one of which is the illegal pet trade with smuggling into the Middle East. Then we have the fact that our game parks, nature reserves are small isolated territories, so there's a complication with breeding and inbreeding there. The loss of habitat through us taking up majority of the land that they would be ideally in, like your grasslands and your savannas are our ideal farmland. And then the fence lines going up to divide that farmland, they can't get through. And then last but not least, the conflict with farmers. They are a large cat that is free roaming on our farmlands and our northern borders. And in South Africa, in some areas, the farmers are losing up to 40% of their livestock annually to predators.
To address the conflict between farmers and cheetahs, the outreach program has introduced the Anatolian Shepherd, a dog breed specifically trained to protect livestock.
The Anatolian Shepherd is a livestock guardian dog breed that's been used for over 5,000 years in Turkey to protect livestock from bears and wolves. It's an instinct for the dog to do that work. You don't need to train it. It's not like training a German Shepherd or a Rottweiler to protection work. It's an instinct. They're born to guard their livestock, not to wait for us to tell them what to do. So in Turkey, they're out in the wild 24/7 with their herds. So we selected the breed because there was a research program being undertaken in Namibia with the Anatolians to see if they could work successfully as a livestock guarding dog on the African continent.
The center is open to the public, with some of the entry fees going towards its upkeep.
We are a public facility, open our gate doors to everybody, school kids on up to the elderly. We do outreach programs, education programs. Visitors can come in and experience meeting one of our cheetahs like you can. And then we have a conservation program, the Cheetah Outreach Trust, which works with those free roaming cheetahs on the farmland. A lot of our funding that goes to the trust to protect the wild cheetah on the farmland has come through people coming into the facility and engaging with one of our animals and learning about the threats and the plight of this predator and what we are trying to achieve to protect them in the wild.
From interactive encounters to conservation education, the center offers something truly special for animal lovers and adventurers alike.
Yo, marabopuleng halithabidinto. But I have to say that was very informative. The holistic experiences for the mind, body and soul continue as we now explore another element of the More Than Music program at the Sunsets Festival World Tour that took place earlier this month in Kaapstad. This time we're exploring environmental awareness through mural artist Hakopike, who highlights the impact of plastic waste and sustainability efforts through art. Phillip Dikotla was out there, and now we get to take a look.
When the passion for spreading awareness and art comes together, that is where you will find Hakopike, a mural artist who uses her canvas for awareness, a love for street art inspired by the need for change.
I've been painting since I was a little kid, but I think moving back from traveling, I decided to go into street art and murals especially, just because I found that it's way more impactful to reach a wider audience of storytelling. So a lot of what I talk about is about mixed ancestry, being a woman in South Africa and also leaving a mark for yourself. And I think why I like murals is because they're so big and intimidating that I want to also inspire other people out there to talk about serious subjects such as ocean conservation and being a powerful woman in a space that doesn't always accommodate it.
Through her involvement with the Pangea Seed Foundation, Hakopike was asked to create environmental awareness by creating a live mural artwork at the Sunsets Festival as part of the More Than Music explorations.
Pangea Seed Foundation is an organization founded by Trey and Akira, and Sea Wars is their public art program where murals across the world have been created in over 500 murals across the world, all with an ocean conservation focus. So today we've been invited by Corona basically to be part of their ocean space, and we're painting this mural to bring awareness towards ocean conservation.
Usually mural art takes longer to create, but on this day, Hakopike dived into this experience and flowed with the vibe of the festival to fuel her artistry.
I've done murals that are 3 times the size, which takes like 3 days sometimes. It depends on flow state. So when I'm focused, it can be very fast. But I love being in environments like this where I have I have a big audience who I can speak to. And murals are beautiful because once you paint them, you leave. The story needs to be told by them by themselves. So I love this environment. The music's great. It's actually helping me paint. I'm like flow state right now, so it's been amazing.
When you look at it, you've seen all these ocean life, and it's quite specific to our coastline. And the idea is that people, even if one person leaves here today and decides not to use, reduces their plastic or reduces their consumption or their buying or whatnot, you've made a difference. So every single individual person can make a difference.
A combo that we always needed. Look at that. Nature, music, and art blending under Mzansi's sunset. But Trendy, who can deny such a woke vibe?
Truly but trendy, this is the only show you need on a Friday evening, giving you only the best in travel, lifestyle, arts and culture. But we will be back giving you a whole lot more after we pay some bills. Siyabuya. You are still tuned into Trendz Live right here on SABC News Channel 404. The makings of a delectable meal is always a combination of various elements, and Emperor's Palace east of Josie was the place to be recently as chefs brought forth their best skills and culinary excellence for a prize. A recent Gourmet Fest showcased the vibrant synergy of skill, innovation and empowerment within South Africa's food service industry. And of course, the Trendz producer couldn't miss discovering these mouth-watering dishes. So let's find out what's cooking.
A kitchen fit for a king's palace. Here the final contestants were eager to prepare splendid dishes. This thrilling chef's competition saw chefs from all over South Africa vying for the title of 2024 Chef of the Year.
The importance of this day is just having fun. Chefs networking with each other, being able to showcase each other's skills, learning. We started this competition with over 30 chefs, and we narrowed it down to the top 8 in the whole country. They are all in different industries or sectors, if I can say that. So some of them are working in healthcare, some of them are working in corporate, some even industrial catering. The skills that they had to qualify for this round was just to write a recipe, a menu, and they had to send through photos of those menus that they cooked.
The pressure was blazing. While cutting-edge time management is of the essence, the chefs also had to demonstrate finesse and excellence, with a kitchen judge keeping a very close eye on them.
The things that I look for are basically cooking methods, cooking processes that encompass health and safety steps. Other things that we look out for are continuous washing of hands and sanitizing of hands. Lots of people feel that gloves are important, but gloves are actually a carrier of germs as opposed to a preventer of germs. So the best thing to do is wash with warm soap and water. Part of our health and safety from a personal protective point of view is PPE. So we wear non-slip shoes, we wear our chef pants that's loose, we wear a chef jacket. Like you can see, it's double-breasted, which means that you have a double layer of protection between yourself and the heat source. So it also maintains your personal safety. When you are in production, you want to have your hair or your hair, face hair, head hair covered. So hair nets, chef hats are always a must.
And after a grueling 4 hours of creating sophisticated, luscious treats, it was time for the judges to deliberate. What a feast they had. It's often said that the taste is indeed in the pudding. And who else but a chef and judge himself to come and tell us about how they deliberated and decided on which competitor was worth winning the prize.
You just want something that's different, especially when you get to competitions. You don't want just a normal meal. It's got to look the part. If you have a plate that says, hey, listen, yeah, hold on, I'm here, look at me, then obviously you're going to be intrigued in that.
Scrumptious cuisine was indeed served, and winners appreciated for their mouth-watering dishes. Congratulations on being today's winner.
Thank you so much.
What sort of meal did you have in mind before the competition even started?
So I had these 3 courses planned in my mind. The starter being the prawn and salmon mosaic, and then the main course was beef fillet, said beef fillet, and then the dessert for the day was mova pudding with some milk tart. It's a competition. You need to put your best foot forward, and then I'm glad I've done that today. It was hectic because the competition was very tough.
What makes a really good chef?
As they say, you eat with your eyes. So I always make sure that my food is well presented, and then it also tastes very good.
A testament to exceptional talent with gastronomic flavors and exquisite presentations. Now that's the kind of meal that describes an exploration for your taste buds and meal fit for a king indeed.
From food to wine, nestled in the heart of Stellenbosch lies a world where breathtaking vineyards, rich history, and exceptional wine come together to create an unforgettable escape. From scenic tractor rides through rolling landscapes to exclusive tastings of the region's finest blends, this is more than just a visit. It's a journey into the soul of South Africa's wine country. Let's explore what makes Stellenbosch a destination worth savoring.
Our stay in Stellenbosch felt like stepping into pages of romantic novel. Surrounded by breathtaking landscape, exquisite cuisine, and naturally the finest wine. One of those highlights was the enchanting escape that was the wine tractor. A charming hop-on and hop-off tour that allowed us to immerse ourselves in the beauty of the vineyards dotting the area.
We've drawn up these sort of pamphlets, as it were, and there you've got 5 kilometers away, and you've got all the wine farms that are 5 kilometers away, 10 kilometers, and you've got different radiuses. And so people say no, they don't want a long drive, so they take the one book and they can go through and see which one they want to use. So as you go along the road to Stellenbosch and you look to your right, you've got the backdrop of the mountains, and then you've got all these vineyards that go up. And Shiraz is the big variety that they grow here, which is well known for the Western Cape.
The pinnacle of this experience, you ask? Arriving at a wine estate of your choice and enjoying a glass of your finest wine. To much bigger and better things.
I swear.
Oh, how I wish I was there. Anyway, if you're looking for something to do, here's a sport that will put you to the test and requires some tenacity. Skateboarding. This is an adrenaline-pumping task that needs agility, balance, and taps into your creativity. To the east of Johannesburg, you'll find a skate park situated on a mall rooftop, which offers a safe space to practice and maybe take a tumble or two. Our producer, Phillip Dikotla, joined the Groms and the pros to see the kickflips, ollies, and tic-tacs.
We are finding new hobbies as young adults, and as we tap into our inner child, why not go and see how the true youngins do it? Skaters of all ages convened on a rooftop park for a well-spirited skate competition.
Air 360 is the first of its kind here in South Africa. So we've got a skate park as well as a pump track for the kids. And basically our objective is just to encourage the youth to get into skateboarding, BMXing, scootering, rollerblading, whatever it might be that has wheels, we cater for it here at the skate park.
I love it. Now, this space can be a little bit intimidating. What would you say to those who would like to start this hobby, perhaps even in adulthood like me?
Hey, it's never too late to start. So we do offer skateboard lessons here as well as BMX lessons, rollerblade lessons. Doesn't matter your expertise level. Yeah, pretty much we cater for all.
Now tell me, what have been some of your best memories in this space?
Shaks, well, watching some of these kids progress to the level they are at now, I mean, it's quite impressive. Some of them have so much talent and they basically just need the facilities to progress themselves to the level that the guys are at overseas.
Ranked third in Africa, organizer and pro skater Josh Bierkes is not only focused on his personal dream of Olympic glory, but also uplifting communities around him and inspiring the youth to engage in an alternative sport.
No, it all comes down to perseverance. Just not giving up and always just having a goal in mind and having a plan to achieve that goal. Because there's a famous saying that goes, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So if you have the goal of becoming a great skateboarder, you got to put in the work, have the plan, and anything is possible.
Taking care of yourself has never been so fun. Finding hobbies in your adulthood is equally as important as it is in supporting your children's hobbies.
Normally for me, soccer is the best for the boys, but now I just supported them and I just bought them the balls and they went to skate park and they learned from other kids and they become who they are today. As a dad, I used to go there and sit down and watch them and I was influenced. So we created what called skate. So as dad, we skating in Jimston Lake. So I learned there. From there, I tell you, I can cruise. I haven't done the tricks like my boys, but I can skate nicely. I can ride. Yeah, from here to Rambek, I can go. Yeah.
The youngest of the novice skaters that we met, aka Grams, have been skating for a few years and enjoy being out in the sunshine.
You get stronger, teach you less and less pain, and it teach you patience. Like you don't always learn a trick the same time you try it. Yes.
Makes you feel better about yourself. You can learn tricks, and it's just the whole point is just to have fun.
You get more and more friends, yes. And everybody's just nice in skating.
That's no one skating, everybody's family.
Yes. Our future champs shared great advice for those searching to fulfill their inner kid on a board.
You just stand, bend your knees, and you don't need to just stand straight.
Just gotta push.
Just move around.
Don't lean back. And don't lean back.
When you push,
just
when you push it, then your body faces straight.
Yeah.
And you just push, and then you turn back.
Okay.
My advice for you is that you wear protection before you get on your board, so that when you fall, you don't feel pain and you just be alright.
Alright, it's been an incredible day. I think I have earned the bravery to hop onto a board. The boys are behind me having the time of their life, busy pumping. It's been an adventure. I encourage you to go out and get boarding.
Other producers work hard, but our team, more Trendz, work harder. On that note, we're taking a break. When we return, Baba, we have a special surprise for you. So trust me, you do not want to miss it. Welcoming you back to your favorite Friday night edition of just, something to indulge in. Don't forget to hang out with us on X at Trendz on SABC. Now, our next guest, I'm smiling from ear to ear because love this man. From accomplished sportsman and dancer to award-winning musician, Ricardo Molloy is living it up and making his mark in the music industry with his versatile sound. The Angolan-born rapper and South African raised, better known as Priddy Ugly in the urban culture streets, is here to catch up with us mid-vibes at one of the biggest hip-hop celebrations in South Priddy Ugly, welcome to the show.
Mama.
I'm happy and I'm smiling because we've got a long history. The fact that, I interviewed you back on my radio days, to have you here tonight is super, super epic. Right? But I have to say a big congratulations. You won yourself the Best Hip Hop Album Award for the 30th Summers. Yeah. How does that feel?
It feels great. I think for me, it's I've never done things for external validation, for commercial appeal, I've always been true to myself, true to the sound. Oh. So the fact that an album like Dust, which is strictly hip hop, it's not like I was trying to make radio songs or trying to make commercial songs, and that's a song that won me an award. I think it should show other artists who are about the art that you can focus on your art. You don't have to sell yourself out.
100%.
You know, you don't have to do things you don't want to do to achieve it.
100%.
Just stay resilient in what you're doing. So I think for me, it's like it's a good pat on the back. But it's for the fans as well, you know, all the people who've been supporting me, man.
You're just like, this one is for
you
you.
guys.
And that's probably why you won the award. I mean, you've been putting in the work, so it's definitely well deserved. But when you think back to like when you were still like playing sports and when you were dancing, did you ever think you would be here right now, especially in music?
I mean, I had dreams of it. Like for me, like I thought I was gonna be like the captain of the Bafana team, you know, in my mid-20s, or I was gonna be at the Olympics, you know, because I was a 100-meter athlete, 200-meter, and that's what I specialized in. But I've had like 6 knee operations, and I just remember what made me like really focus on the music. I'd listen to like guys that I appreciate and like that I like, but WH people, Kulichana on TV,
and men that you've also worked with, by the way,
right? And I was like, man, I want to be just like these guys, actually. And I knew it was possible. Everyone, I think my whole career thought I was kind of crazy, but I was like, no, man, we got it. You know, but I'm just happy that my resilience has kept me here. And, you know, 17 years later, we're able to say like, yo,
and we're still continuing to make hits and make that money.
It's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning. I absolutely love it for you. But let's not pretend like the summer was like one of your first. I mean, you were on Amu's compilation album years ago that also won a summer. Do you think that it somehow contributed to like the movements you've made in your career?
Jeez, yeah, like big shout out to Ammunition. That was 2012. I was on his album titled The Principle.
Yes.
And I remember even when they put me on that song with Mr. Sullivan, they were like, yo, bro, this is gonna be you in the future. You're gonna win this award.
They were giving you dabs already
like,
at that point.
Already at that point. And I remember that time I was like fresh in tertiary, you know, so I'm humble to those. Those are my OGs. I was in studio sessions with Ammunition and Mr. Sullivan when I was 16 years old, you know?
Jeez, that's
so then to be here like 15 years later.
You know you're exposing your age, right? But it's fine to be here 15 years later. To be here 15 years later just probably feels like a surreal moment.
Right? Crazy.
Yeah, man. So we've spoken about Dust and you've said exactly what you feel the album was for, who it was for, and why you think it actually won a summer. But there's a song that's on there where you say like top 5, and when you're part of the top 5, who would you then say is the other top 4? Because you put it out there. So, you know, let's talk about it.
I said top 5 on every list, any list. Even back to front, you know? Man, top 5. I'm gonna give it to like the OGs because like I'm an old school soul.
Okay, let's hear them because you know, live TV.
I mean, outside of me, we'll say WHP, aka Pro Kid.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
I'm gonna give it to the new guys, Nasty C.
Nasty C. Okay. All right, that's a good lineup. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna mention mine. But what I am going to just ask you is, there's been a lot of like naysayers about just like hip hop and just like, is it really growing and so forth and so what, especially being compared to Amapiano and how that's growing. Do you still feel like that's true, or is there still a place for hip hop and like a wave that's being made that's new?
I mean, I think hip-hop is very prominent. I think if you look at the last 5 years, hip-hop in South Africa have been releasing the best albums possibly. The only issue is that like we're not the #1 trending genre anymore, you know? So we're not really as commercial as piano is, so we're actually not going to compete with them. But I mean, if you look at the guys in the hip-hop space, you know, guys are like doing 1 million streams on first day of release. You know, so we can't say that like, and that is without having as much publicity as the other genres do, you know? So it means, no, we're still in a very, very good position. We just need to be consistent, keep dropping quality. You know, my album Dust is sitting on like 10 million streams now. So
I need to give you a high five for that one.
You know, they can't say hip hop is not doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love how you put that answer, man. Which brings me to my next question, because you've dabbled in a lot of different sounds and different genres. But if you were to kind of categorize or subcategorize rather your genre right now, what would you call it?
Oh man,
You're
preparing, but I'm also very diverse, you know. So like I'll hop on like lo-fi beats that are like more jazz influenced, and then we put an 808 on it, you know. So it's like soul hip hop. But I also have songs like Njaka, which are like street anthems where we're mixing like drill and classical music, Mozart in it, you know. Njaka starts with the piano. You hear it when I perform it later on.
I'm so
But then
excited.
it becomes like very, very street. So I just call it hip hop, and ultimately you know, because Motswako is a mixture of different things, you know. And that's actually what my hip hop is, you know. So even as much as I'm not rapping in Setswana predominantly, it's a mixture.
It's a mixture. And speaking about Motswako, because it's Nap Town Heights tonight, How are you feeling about being part of that lineup? Because you're part of the new Tswako. That's what they call you guys. I don't even know what that means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Khonala Motswako, which is the original, you know.
Okay.
New Tswako is like the new acts within the Motswako space.
I see.
So that's myself, Maglera Dope Boy, Kato Soul, Lotanova Pounds, 25K, you know, you name them. And yeah, we're part of the New Tswako Nation. We're performing tonight. You know, come through and see me perform. I'll be on just after 9 p.m.
I'm already dressed up. I'm ready.
Come on, I'm already. I feel underdressed now.
Nah, never could never be you. You're too stylish. But I'm super excited to see your set and just everything that's next for you. But you know, Njaka is also just speaking about dogs, and I mean, right now, or homies rather, let's call it that.
Exactly.
And we are obviously in Movember. Would you say, like, in your personal life and even from an industry perspective, there is a brotherhood that exists in this fraternity?
100%. I think if you look at it now, like, I think the reason why I can say hip hop has had such quality projects is because guys are collaborating. You know, the Pitori guys are holding it down. 25K, Lotanova Pounds, 25K. In Durban, there's Nasty C, Usmama, and Blackie, you know, and it's like, and people are like doing their thing because of the collaboration. I think we need to remove more of the ego, because I know people feel like hip hop is very competitive, so we need to be very ego driven, whatever. You know? I think we need to just remove that ego a little bit, like get rid of the beef, and just like work more together.
And come together. I love that. But in just wrapping things up, I mean, what is next for you? Are we gonna maybe get a Rick Jade album with your wifey? You know, maybe like you guys back on YouTube? Like, what are we doing? What's next?
Yeah, I've been sleeping on the YouTube things because like I edit the videos and it just takes too long to edit. And also like at the same time, like we'd be like doing that stuff, but like at the same time, we're also trying to preserve our privacy as a family,
and
but also give off it to people.
So that means no Rick Jade album. So what's
no Rick Jade album is coming? Maybe no Hamuloi, you know, no Hamuloi, but exciting. More Rick Jade music.
Yeah.
I got a surprise for you guys in January as well to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Dust, the Sama Award, a couple of plaques as well. So we have a surprise in January.
So it's basically, we're not at the end of the year, we're still taking it up and up.
We still.
Oh man, I love it. Priddy, thank you so much for being in studio with us. You know, I could talk to this man absolutely all night, and I could also stay with you all night. Mara Ish, I have to go to my mother's house. Actually, I lie. I'm going to where he's going to be performing right now. But Trendz Live family, thank you so much for tuning in. You know, we do this every single Friday at 8 p.m. right here on SABC News Channel 404. The name's Candy, and like I always say, stay sweet. He's playing us out. Priddy Ugly is his name. Good night.
Issue. Katautoa kena plan. Step 1, kena bata. Hankatola ya lagak. Step 2, claranacha. You don't wanna go to war. Guys pour here with asata. Impitori with the pound, transi amachal. Sosh plata. I'm with my dogs, meon. Dinjaka. Para in a Porsche. Pass up for the gata. You don't wanna go to court for a cop. Or a Zaza. They shot the homie in a cop. Need a mop for his mata. With my dogs, meon. Dinjaka. Para in a Porsche. Pass up for the gatas. You don't wanna go to court for a cop. Or a Zaza. They shot the homie in a cop. Need a mop for his mata. You should see the odd drop, see how top. Out of Batla, need a drop top slata. Plain hopscotch in the strata. How short the cautata. What you want, don't know what you prata. Sauta like the Gaza. My friend, don't know you can sata. My grandmama in Luanda, send me Gaza to a Gaza. Find nothing from my holla. Turn it around, ain't the Kwanzaa. People die for the walla. Brothers make you sing like a bala. Utohola palafala. Bafana baba nazaga. Sheesh. See my young Cheetah caught a lick. Bandita for a brick. Mama see the boy some tit. A Cheetah caught a butter. Mother thought it was a pit. Made my dog Nike and it never saw a tick. None like me in whatever sport it is. Tryna sign me, give me effort for a hit. Maverick seizure doing edits on the pit. Going stupid cause they told me dumb it down. Be the hottest when the summer come around. I need commas in my bank account. Counting numbers in a fat amount. My dog, if you get bitter, it isn't my fault. It's a decision of God. Don't get your feelings involved. With my dogs, meon, dinjaka. Para in a Porsche. Pass up for the gata. You don't wanna go to court for a cop. Or a Zaza. They shot the homie in a cop. Need a mop for his mata. With my dogs, meon, Dijaka, Spara in a Porsche, Paso, for the Hatas. You don't wanna go to court for a cop at a Zanza. They shot the homie in a coat, need a mop for his mother. My dogs, Dijaka, Spara in a Porsche, Paso, for the Hatas. You don't wanna go to court for a cop at a Zaza. Yeshoo! Katautoa gena plan. Step 1, gena bata. Hakatola ya legak. Step 2, claranacha. You don't wanna go to war. Guys pour here utasata. Epidori with the pound. Transia macha. So splata. I'm with my dogs. Mayon. Dinjaka. Spara in a Porsche. Pass off for the hata. You don't wanna go to court.